Welcome to this session on pons. The pons, when we see from the anterior aspect, this is how the midbrain is, and then here is pons, and then medulla, anterior lateral fissure, posterior lateral fissure, pyramids. These are the pyramids. These two are olives. So on the pons upper part, we see the fifth nerve taking origin, fifth cranial. Junction of pons and medulla, we see the 6, 7, and 8 cranial. Okay. The posterior aspect of the pons, of course, the midbrain we have already seen looks like this, and pons, upper part of the pons is closed, and then the lower part is open like this, and even the lower part of the pons is open. Upper pons is closed. Okay, so this is the fourth ventricle, and this is the diamond-shaped fourth ventricle, and here again the cunate gracile tubercles are there. So this is upper medulla, which is open, and this is lower medulla, which is closed. So this this point it was closed, then it opens up in forms of fourth ventricle. Here we see the facial colliculus like this. This lateral eminence. This is the vestibular area laterally. Okay. So posteriorly we see the vestibular area. This is the median sulcus. Okay. And these are the facial colliculi, and then we also see the stria medullaris fibers going laterally. So now, right now, below this area is the medulla. So we are concentrating on pons. So pons, there are two sections. A section 1 going like this, section 2 going like this. That means there is upper pons. This is upper pons section, where I'll expect the fifth cranial now. Fifth cranial nuclei. And this is the lower pons area, where I will see 6, 7, and 8 cranial nerve nuclei. In the lower pons area, I will see this facial colliculus. I will see the open part. So lower part portion will be open part of the fourth ventricle. Upper part of the pons going through here. Here now the fourth ventricle has got closed, and then it will form an aqueduct of Sylvius, which is seen inside the midbrain. Again here, upper part of the medulla is open, and then as we go down, the lower part becomes closed. Okay. So now let us draw sections. Let us draw sections for the pons. Now keeping these two areas in mind, I am drawing the section. Okay. Okay. So the first section will be of the lower pons, which will be open. Okay, lower part of the pons, which will be open. What we see in the lower part of the pons, on the anterior aspect, the pons will be like this. So whether anterior section going through upper pons or whether section going through lower pons, the pons has a basilar portion. Okay, and this basilar portion is common for both the sections from the upper part of the pons and section from the lower part of the pons. Okay, and only main difference what we talk about is the dorsal part, which is the tegmental part, while the anterior part is the basilar part. What we see in the basilar part? In the basilar part, we see the fibers of the corticospinal tract. So these are the fibers of the corticospinal tract going downwards. Okay. So this I label as corticospinal corticonuclear fibers. There are three things seen. Okay, three things seen in the basilar part. One is corticonuclear corticospinal fibers. Another thing that is seen is pontine nuclei. Okay. And the third thing, so there are the cerebellopontine fibers which are coming down from the cerebropontine fibers which are coming down from the cerebrum to these pontine nuclei. And from these pontine nuclei, the fibers are crossing to the opposite side. They are crossing to the opposite side and then they are going like this. Okay, so they are crossing to the opposite side and they are going like this. Okay, so fibers crossing to opposite side and going like this. So the third thing is cerebroponto okay, cerebellar fibers. Okay, this is leading to the middle cerebellar peduncle. So this is the middle cerebellar peduncle. This middle cerebellar peduncle only has afferent fibers. And what are those afferent fibers? These afferent fibers are coming from the cerebrum, ending on the pontine nuclei, crossing to the opposite side, and so cerebropontocerebellar fibers, which are crossing. So again, I repeat, there are three things seen in the basilar part of the pons. One, the descending corticospinal corticonuclear fibers. Two, pontine nuclei. And three, the cerebropontocerebellar fibers, which are crossing and going to the opposite side. Now let us see what is there on the tegmental part. In the tegmental part, this is the facial follicles. We will be seeing the facial follicles, right? Facial follicles, and then this lateral part. So in the facial follicles, below the facial follicles actually is not the facial nerve nuclei, but the sixth nerve nuclei. While the facial nerve nuclei is here. Facial nerve nuclei is here. So the six nuclei are the fibers, and then the nerve comes out like this. While the seventh, the fibers, they go like this and come out lateral, because we have seen here sixth nerve is medial and the seventh nerve is lateral. So sixth is medial coming out like this. Seventh, the fibers go, this is called a neurobiotaxis. So seventh comes out here. Okay. So this is cranial nerve nucleus 7. This is cranial nerve nucleus 6. Then what we see in midline? Midline, three structures. Midline, three structures. Always three structures. Medial longitudinal bundle. Okay. Then tectospinal tract that we have studied while studying the midbrain, and rubrospinal tract. So medial longitudinal bundle, then tectospinal tract and rubrospinal tract. These things are there in midline in most of the sections. When it is in the pons, it is common. Okay. Then here we see a decussation. This decussation is trapezoid body. This decussation is trapezoid bodies. These are the crossing fibers of the auditory path. Then we see medial lemniscus. After medial lemniscus is the tract of Gall and Berda. Medial lemniscus. Then we see spinal lemniscus. Okay. Medial lemniscus. So this is the lemniscal band. Medial lemniscus, spinal lemniscus. Of course, the spinal nucleus of trigeminal and the trigeminal lemniscus is also there. Sometimes it is shown between the two, especially in the upper section. Okay. And then here we see the inferior cerebellar peduncle. Okay. And beyond that are the medial and dorsal cochlear nuclei. So what are these? These are the cochlear nuclei. There are cochlear nuclei, and then here in this region, so this area is called as vestibular area. So now relating this, these two are the facial colliculi, and on the side of this is vestibular area. So here we see the vestibular nuclei. So once you know the what is there in the floor of fourth ventricle from medial side in the area of pons, facial nuclei, vestibular area. So here facial colliculus, vestibular area. So facial colliculus formed by facial nerve fibers going around abducens nerve and vestibular. And then here are cochlear nuclei, inferior cerebellar peduncle. This is the middle cerebellar peduncle. That's all about the lower pons. Okay, and this is the fourth ventricle. When we go to the upper pons, the diagram slightly will change. The diagram will slightly change. Okay, and what is going to happen in the upper pons? Basilar area remains the same. The basilar area remains the same. Okay, where there is middle cerebellar peduncle, three things in basilar area. Again, I will repeat. The corticonuclear, corticospinal tracts. This is corticonuclear, then pontine nuclei, and arising from the pontine nuclei and going to the opposite side. Arising from the pontine nuclei and going to the opposite side are the pontocerebellar fibers. So these pontocerebellar fibers will go in the middle cerebellar peduncle. So three things. Okay. Now here what happens is now the slightly it is like this. Okay. So in the upper pons, now we are drawing the section in the upper pons. Okay, so here we see the superior. So this is the middle peduncle, and this is the superior cerebellar peduncle. So basically in the lower pons, we saw inferior peduncle and middle peduncle. In the upper pons, we see the superior peduncle and middle peduncle. Middle peduncle is of course almost the part of the pons. And now here again the ventricle has now turning into the aqueduct. As we go up, it will turn into aqueduct in the midbrain. So this is the part of the ventricular cavity, which is now narrowing down. So center area, our three favorite things. Okay, medial longitudinal bundle, then tectospinal tract, then rubrospinal tract. So whether it is upper pons or lower pons, medial longitudinal bundle, tectospinal tract, and rubrospinal tract. Then below that, trapezoid body. Now we draw the lemniscal band. So this is medial lemniscus. Next to medial lemniscus is spinal lemniscus. Okay. Next to spinal lemniscus is medial lemniscus. Then is trigeminal lemniscus. Then is spinal lemniscus. And then is lateral lemniscus. So medial lemniscus, trigeminal lemniscus, spinal lemniscus, and lateral lemniscus. And at this area there is fifth nerve emerging. So there are two nuclei of the fifth nerve. The motor nucleus of the fifth nerve. So this is motor nucleus of the fifth. So I'm drawing M and fifth. And then there is sensory nucleus, chief sensory nucleus. So this is sensory nucleus of fifth. So the tract from the chief sensory nucleus will be here. So in the lemniscal band, there will be fibers from the chief and the fifth nerve, of course, will go like this. Will go out like this. Fifth nerve going out like this. Okay. So fibers from the chief sensory, which carry general sensations for the face. Fibers from the general sensations of the body, medial lemniscus. Medial lemniscus is nothing but the tract of gall and Barda. Trigeminal lemniscus, we had seen here trigeminal spinal nucleus of trigeminal and the band. Now it has come to lie here. So trigeminal lemniscus is pain and temperature of face. Spinal lemniscus is our spinothalamic tract, which is for pain and temperature of the body. And lateral lemniscus is our auditory tract after this trapezoid body crossing has taken. So general sensation of face, general sensation of body, pain and temperature of face, pain and temperature of body, and auditory tract. And then there are only two nuclei seen here. So that's all about pons. Okay. Again, before I talk about the applied anatomy, again I'll repeat that the pons, when we look from the anterior aspect, this base, we see the basilar part of the pons, we see the fifth nerve, we see 6, 7, 8 at junction of pons and med. When we look on the posterior aspect, the lower part of the pons is open as fourth ventricle, where we see the median eminence, and then we see the facial colliculi. Deep to facial colliculi is the sixth nerve and seventh nerve fibers in sixth nerve nucleus. Then there is this is the median eminence, and lateral to the median eminence is vestibular area. So in the vestibular area, we should expect vestibular nuclei. In the area of facial colliculus, we should expect the sixth nerve nucleus and facial nerve fibers going around it, which form the facial colliculus. So in the lower pons, we see three midline structure: medial longitudinal bundle, tectospinal tract, rubrospinal tract. Both medial longitudinal bundle, tectospinal tract, rubrospinal tract. Then we see the lemniscal band, medial lemniscus, spinal lemniscus. We see the trigeminal nucleus and the trigeminal fibers, and then trapezoid body. At both there is a decussation. Three things very common in the basilar pons: corticospinal tract, corticonuclear tract, pontine nuclei, and fibers arising from pontine nuclei and going to the upper. In the upper pons, same thing. We see the lemniscal bond very nicely. Fibers from chief sensory, medial lemniscus, trigeminal lemniscus, spinal lemniscus, lateral lemniscus. So bands going like this: three in the midline, three white fibers in midline, same medial longitudinal bundle, tectospinal tract, rubrospinal tract. Lemniscal band like this, and two nuclei: motor nucleus medially, sensory nucleus laterally. And this is the ventricle. Now it is narrowing down. As we go up, it becomes the aqueduct of Sylvius in midbrain. Now coming to the last part of the pons, and that is the applied anatomy of the pons. So suppose this is the pons, and applied anatomy is mostly for the section passing through the lower part of the pons, section passing through the lower part of the pons. So suppose this is the basilar part. Okay, here is the sixth nerve. Sixth nerve comes out like this. Sixth nerve, seventh nerve fibers go around and come here like this. Seventh nerve fiber go around, come here like this. Okay, and here in the basilar part, we mainly have the corticospinal tracts which are going down. So suppose there is a lesion, and that is called as Millard-Gubler syndrome. Millard-Gubler. This Millard-Gubler syndrome will, the blood supply of the pons comes from basilar artery. Blood supply of the pons is from basilar artery. Okay, which lies in this pontine sulcus. Okay, so any obstruction to this from where the pontine arteries arise. So what will happen? Sixth nerve will be affected. So sixth nerve, we know SO4 LR6. So it supplies the lateral rectus. So what will happen if sixth nerve is affected? There will be medial squint. Because lateral rectus is affected, there will be medial squint. Then there will be seventh nerve paralysis. Seventh cranial nerve paralysis. Okay. So these will be ipsilateral. But corticospinal tract at the level of medulla goes to the opposite side. So there will be medial squint, seventh nerve paralysis, and contralateral hemiplegia. Contralateral hemiplegia. Contralateral hemiplegia. So three things happen in Millard-Gubler syndrome. Sixth nerve is affected, so medial squint. Seventh cranial nerve affected, so this will be leading to facial palsy. Okay, it will lead to facial palsy and contralateral hemiplegia. Okay, so that is, these are the things affected in Millard-Kupral syndrome. Then there is another, there can be pontine hemorrhage where there are pinpoint pupils seen because the ocular sympathetic fibers are affected. This pinpoint pupil is the characteristic feature of pontine hemorrhage. Pinpoint pupils, pontine hemorrhage. Okay, and the person will go into deep coma because the radicular formation is affected. Now, one more thing that is called as acoustic neuroma, which happens at the cerebellopontine angle. The eighth nerve is seen coming out from here, and the ninth nerve seen coming out from here. So the acoustic neuroma affects these regions. Okay, the acoustic neuroma mainly affects these regions. So this red thing was Millard-Gubler affecting 6, 7. Acoustic neuroma affects the 8 in the cerebellopontine. Okay, so there the person will get vertigo. 8 nerve is affected. Okay, the cerebellar peduncle is affected. You can see here. So therefore, he will get a staggering gait. Okay, the person will have staggering gait. Then there will be the facial nerve palsy, because what happens is the seventh nerve area, there will be facial nerve palsy also. So seventh cranial nerve is also affected. Eighth cranial nerve is affected. Okay, and the lemniscal band, the laterally there is the trigeminal lemniscus, and this trigeminal lemniscus will carry the pain and temperature sensation. So another thing that is affected is trigeminal lemniscus when the lesion is acoustic neuroma at the pontocerebellar, and this can lead to loss of corneal reflex. Loss of corneal reflex. So three applied anatomies in case of Pons. One, Millard-Gubler syndrome, where sixth nerve affected leading to median squint, seventh nerve affected leading to facial palsy, and the corticospinal tract which is going down is affected leading to contralateral hemiplegia. Pinpoint pupils happening in pontine hemorrhage, of course, deep coma, and the third thing is the acoustic neuroma happening lateral side. Lateral sides affect the seventh nerve, affects the eighth nerve leading to vertigo, seventh nerve leading to seventh nerve paralysis. Okay, and the lateral parts of the lemniscal band, and especially the trigeminal lemniscus is affected. This can lead to loss of corneal reflex. Okay, loss of pain and temperature of the face area mainly, and therefore it can lead to the loss of corneal reflex because the spinal tract and the nucleus of the trigeminal nerve is affected. Okay, so that's all about